tonight's session. I hope you can hear me. Please confirm that you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. So we begin as fast as we can. So we have a lot to cover this night. So that's why I said we'll start quite early. Some persons are still joining up, but nevertheless, we have to begin immediately. In the previous class, we looked at the what we call the conditionals. We looked at the logical statements and the different syntaxes that has to do with the conditionals as well. We looked at the equality check or the comparison operator, and also we looked at the is not equal to, less than, uh, less than or equals to, and greater than or equals to. We also looked at the concept of and or. We looked at if and says if two conditions are met, it's going to be true. But if one of them is not met, if it's true and false, it's going to bring out false because both of them are not the same. So false and false will definitely give false. Then we're now going to or. We said that all was actually one of them must be true. If one of them is true, it's going to take it as true. It just needs to satisfy one true condition. But if it's both false, it's going to give us false. We now went further to say a practical example, like a is equals to 6 equals 6. So we print a, definitely 6 equals 6 is true. And we said that also in Python, it's case sensitive when it comes to string. The lowercase c is not the same as capital C. Once we print B, it's going to give us false because it is definitely small c is not the same as the big C. We used the string format method to try to compare using the and or. So we looked at the first one, we defined A, which I've done that already, A and B, see it's A, comma B. We are given these values inside here to represent each of the variables in which we have defined. We now said this and this is going to give us what will be the final answer here, which is A and B, which is these two represent A and B as a variable on its own, bringing together to compare using your conditionals. So by the time A and B comes in together, for example, A and B, A is true and B is false. So if you bring A and B together, it's going to give us false because one of the condition is not true, it is false, and needs both conditions to be true. So for it to be true, the next thing was that of or A or B. It gave us true because one of the condition is met. Looking at the concept of the or logical expression. So tonight we'll be looking at. We're going to move further. We're going to build on what we have learned so far using the or and the other syntaxes that has to do with conditionals. So tonight we're going to look at a particular concept which we have done that we have actually introduced it a little when we're running our first project using the turtle model. We looked at when we're using the screen reset. If the screen reset is equals true, this is what I want you to do. So this is what we're building on. At least we have pre-existing knowledge of what we have done already and what we want to do, like the if statement. So tonight we'll be looking at the if conditions, and we're going to see we're going to see a lot of practical examples. And please just get ready to solve some things all by yourself. We have just 4 persons in our meeting tonight. Let's just send disclaimer over there that our lesson has started. Maybe someone should just type in. Please just type in just to notify them that the lesson has started. I will not wait for anyone from henceforth. Let's just try and make sure that we get speed edition up to that, and we should always be punctual to a class. So let's just get it done. Okay, so let's continue. So when we look at the conditionals, we look at Python runs the code. Remember that Python will definitely run the code from top to down. For example, if you're running a particular code, it's going to start from, if you're running a particular cell of code, Python will take it from the top, and as it's coming down, it's going to execute. For example, maybe you define a variable at the top of your Python code. Immediately you come down, it define that same name. Maybe give, for example, app a name is equals to this. By the time you come down, and you give that same variable name equals to this, is going to override the pre-existing one that was at top. So that is what we call the execution flow when it comes to Python. That's what we call execution flow. So there will be places in the code that you may want to use what a control flow as it's coming down. We always want to like try to give certain conditions. Maybe there are certain lines of code you do not want it to run. So that is when the if conditions will come in and make in the what the conditional execution, and it is done by what the if statement. So conditional executions are actually done by the if statement, which we are going to see by ourselves. So let's go straight and let's see how we can make this particular concept work for us. So please, if you can see my screen, is it bold enough? I want to know if it's bold enough. Is the screen bold enough? Can you see very well?
Yes, it is. It's bold enough.
Okay, guys. All right, no problem. So if someone can just say in the group chat that we have started, we have gone far already. Please just say in the group chat we are live. Just say it in the chat room that we are live. We have gone far already. Please, someone should do that. I may not be able to have that chance to do that for now. So let's look at a very practical example here. X is equals to, let's use 7, or maybe we could use 7 for example. X is equals to 7. At the time we define X to be 7, and we say if, let's use the if condition now, if X are programs that are not going to know that. Please, once you come in, please always try to mute yourself wherever you are. Thank you very much. So if X is greater, if X is what? If X is definitely greater than 0, if X is definitely greater, remember, just look at what I'm doing. If X is greater than 0, and definitely I'm going to use a colon to end that particular condition, and I'm going to go to down, as you can see. Okay, thank you. Okay. So if X is greater than 0, it means we are going to do a particular condition. We're going to execute a particular kind of command, and that is what let's just say print the value is greater than 0. So let's just use a print function and say print. Let's say, for example, remember in the last class we used the string format method. So let's just continue with that, and let's define a particular one. Is greater than is greater than sorry is greater than 0, which we have seen that already, is greater than 0. So if you run this now, definitely we're going to, at the end, we're going to use the dot format as we did in the last class, dot format, and we're going to put in the variable name X. And in this particular one, I have decided not to use anything here. You can actually leave it here. If it's only one variable you are defining, you can actually leave it to be exactly blank, and let's see how it's going to. So normally, once it's only just one variable you do, you can decide to leave this blank for us. So if we decide to print this out now, definitely that we are connected. So if you do this, you can see 7 is greater than 0. It means that this particular condition has been met. If X is greater than 0, definitely X is greater than 0. And it's going to do what? Print what? 7 is greater than 0, because this particular format.x has taken the value of what? X, which is 7. So 7 is greater than 0. Okay. So let's see if we decide to make this particular one maybe -10 or what. So let's just try. Let me maybe just copy Just copy and let me create a new code. And once I create a new code, and let me change this to -10.
Please, I have a question.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, my question is, please go back to the screen.
Okay.
Okay, my question is, I learned that there's another way to format codes. What if you use just F in front before the quotation marks, then you put the variable you're quoting inside the curly brackets?
Have
Is
you
it not
tried
still the
it?
same?
There are different ways of doing this. You can also use concatenation as well. You can use a lot of methods, but I'm just using this one as well. I'm trying to use different methods in which we can use to code. We have used the F string before. You can try it out. Try it out over there for you. It will definitely work for you. There's no way it will not work for you because this one was a kind of older version. That's what we use even in Python 2 then. So you can use it. There's no problem.
Okay, no problem.
All right. So we can actually, so what we are going to do now is x is less than 10. If x is greater than 0, print this. Definitely, if you run this command, I don't know what will happen, but I feel it will not print this particular condition because x is definitely less than 0. Looking at this, x is equals to -10. So if you run this, instead of just to satisfy clear all righteousness, you can decide to, at the end of it, just say print end of statement. You can decide to just say we are printing a particular end of statement. Just say end, you can just say end of statement. So let's see what will come out first. Let's see what will come out, and let's see end of, you can just say end of if statement. We're just trying to create that one. This one is outside this particular if block of code. So let's see what it will give us. Let's see what it will give us if you run. So you can see it's not giving us print is greater than 0. It's just going to tell us that this is the end of the if statement because this condition it has not been satisfied. So what do? We then definitely do what x is definitely not greater than 0. So that's what we are trying to get for the if statement. And let's continue with the next one. And that is, let's just bring in another concept. Let's say maybe let's bring in the and operate in the logical expression which we used in the last class. Let's try and combine the both of them and see how we can play with it in this particular if condition. Remember, we're doing it step by step, little by little. We will get more complex. I don't know those that have missed this class, those that are not in this particular class. I don't know how they will get to understand because once you miss a concept like this, it's then it tends to be very, very difficult to grasp certain things. Okay, please ask your question right now.
Please, can I go back to the last code?
Okay. Okay, I'll be there shortly.
The screen. The screen. Okay.
Yes, can you see my screen?
Oh, yes. You said x is equals to -10. If x
Yes.
is greater than 0, print is greater than 0. Dot format x. Print end of if statement. Sorry, I didn't get what's going on here.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay. If you look at, you can please mute yourself. The background is disturbing us. Okay. What happened here is actually quite. It's a very logical kind of situation here. So the thing is here, x is equals to -10. If x is greater than 0, print this. That means if this condition is met, if you look at x here, the value of x is -10, which is less than 0. At this particular point, this condition is not met. Print this is greater than 0. Unlike the previous one we did, x is equals to 7. If x is greater than 0, definitely 7 is greater than 0. That's why this condition.
I get it now. Yes.
Okay. So at the end of this,
I get it. All right.
Okay, so by the time so that's good. So when he finished, he did not print out this place. It went straight to the end of the, which is outside the block of it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, sir. It's clear.
All right. So the next thing we're going to do is to try to combine the both, like using the and or. It's very important that you get it at this particular point. It's very important because it might get really, really complex. So let's just define another variable. Let's just use x. X is equals to, let's use x equals to, let's use, for example, let's use 10. By the time we use 10, we now say, okay, this is this, and this is what we're going to use. So let's say x is equals to 10, and let's say if x, let's use if x is greater than 0, that's the first condition we want to use, and x, this same x is what is less than or equals to 10. You're going to leave it with a colon. If x is greater than 0 and x is less than or equals to 10, this is what I want you to do. Print a particular statement. I can just say, you can say this is greater than, as we did in the former class, you can just say this, you can just use the curly bracket and define a particular variable name here is what is greater or equals to, is greater than 0. The first one is greater than 0. Definitely that's the first condition. Is greater than 0. If you look at it, if x is greater than 0. So this is greater than 0 and is what? And less than. Look at this. I'm trying to explain what is on this if line. And less than or equal to, let me try to clear this out, or equal to 10. Once we do that, definitely we're going to bring it out here and use the dot format. Use the dot format here. Use the dot format. Mr. Oko, you can use the formatted string at some point, but I'm trying to make sure that this one is explained well. So we use the x, which this x is representing the x in which you have defined here already to be 10. Okay, so by the time you do this, sorry, I'm just trying to. So by the time you do this, you're going to see the value of this particular. And so let's try to run this. And let's see, you can see 10 is greater than 0 and less than or equals to 10. Exactly what we have wanted, because it has definitely satisfied this condition. If you look at x is equals to 10, it means that if x is greater than 0, definitely 10 is greater than 0. Fantastic. And x is less than or equals to 10. Definitely x is not less than 10, but it is equals to 10. So these two conditions have been met using the AND logical expression. And definitely, since both of them are true, it's going to be what? It's going to return this particular print statement. But if let's try another condition here. Let's try something else. Let's try something else and see what it will give us. Let's try something else. Let's just copy this, and let's add another code here and just paste it here. And let's change something here. Let's change this x. Let's just change it to, let's change it to 17, or let's use 18 for now. So by the time we try this out, and I'll try it out, it's definitely, I don't know what it will give us, but I would like to try it out and see what it will give, or I would like someone else to just comment on something. So let's just print something else here. Print, and just decide to say no, I'll just say no condition, no conditions. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself once you join in. Please mute yourself. No conditions are met. We can just say like that. So at this particular point, I would like just to for us to ask to make a statement here. What do you think would be the answer? Which one would print? Is it the dash is greater than 0 and less than or equals to 10, or it will print no conditions are met? Please, you can actually just put your answer in the comment section. It's quite
Both
easy.
of them.
Both of
Both
them.
of them.
Okay. Okay, both of them. Someone is saying both of them. Good. Okay. Who again is trying to say something? What do you think it will give? What do you think it will give? You can put it in the section there. What do you think it will give? Mr. Tosin said both of them. Please, someone should drop in. You can put in your answer there.
No conditions are met.
No conditions are met. Mr. Mforbo said no conditions are met. Mr. Solomon said no conditions are met. So let's see. Some persons have answered no conditions are met. Tosin said the boats will play out. So at this particular point, I see someone is still typing. Mr. Sunday is typing. So let's see. Finally, I'm here. Okay, you had issues trying to get in. Sorry about that. All right, so let's go straight to the point and let's see what it will give us. Let's see what it will give us. So let's see. So the answer is no conditions are met. Why is it so? Is because x is equals to 18. This is the beginning of our condition. If x is greater than 0, yes, x is greater than 0. Fantastic, because 18 is definitely greater than 0. And now this is where it gets complicated. And x is less than 10. If you look at this x, 18 is not less than 10. And it is not equals to 10. The x is not equals to 10. Now, x is not equals to 10 and it is not less than 10. So what is it? Two conditions have been played out. One of them is true. The other one is false. Since it is an, one condition, if one condition is false, it's automatically not going to run that particular block of code. So it goes straight to the end of the statement and say, print, no conditions are met. So that is why we have gotten that. But if you're using the other logical expression, it's definitely going to give us something, which was still coming there one after the other. So let's just continue with that. And if you have any questions, please never hesitate to. If you have I don't know if Mr. Tosin gets it now. If you understand the whole concept, please just let me know at maybe in the chat room, or you can just drop your message. I get it now. I really want everyone to follow up in the class. So the next thing we're going to look at, let's also look at a particular concept and see if it's going to be true. Let's just try something else entirely, And let me also copy and paste this as well. Just copy and paste this as well. Copy. And I create more code. I normally love Jupyter Notebook. I don't really. I'm more because I'm more of a I'm a data scientist, and this is the tool we like working with. So sometimes the PyCharm issue, we don't. That was when I was just beginning how to like get to learn how to code, trying to build certain games and the rest. But I love with the concept of notebooks, because once I finish a cell, I can execute it and I can follow up the lines of code. This is my platform, so I try to enjoy myself on the Colab or the Jupyter notebook. But unfortunately, at some point, because of guys are still beginning, we always try to use the PyCharm. Okay, so without wasting much of time, let's look at another concept here. Let's just look at another concept. What if we change this to 6? What if we change this to 6 or 7? Let's just use 7. And definitely we are going to take this out. Let me just print something like this. Let me just use something like this as well. So now if it is x equals to 7, please let me know what will be your answer. What do you think will be the print statement? What will come out? Please look at this statement. I want it to be practical enough. X is equals to 7. Very good. If x is greater than 0 and x is less than or equals to 10, print this is this. And what will be the things that will come out? What do you think would come out in this part? What will be the output of this particular cell of code? Please, I would like to know, have your response. You can raise up your hand, you can decide to like tell us what do you think will be the output of it? What do you think will be the output? Okay, Mr. Mfonobon, okay, your hand is raised.
I think it will be the first one, the first print.
That is 7 is greater than 0 and less than equals to 10.
Yeah,
Why do you think so?
because definitely and obviously 7 is great. It's better than 0, but also at the same time it's also less than. But although it's not equal to 10, one of the conditions here in this second part of the and is met, which is less than 10. That's why I think it's going to print this first one.
Okay, very good. Wonderful, wonderful. That's a nice one. Any other person that wants to try? Okay, someone is saying no condition is met. Okay, it will be, okay, someone said it will be dash, 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 dash. Okay, Mr. Solomon said it will be dash, dash, dash. That's the last print statement. Mr. Fonso Odekule said no condition is met. Mr. Sunday, your hand is up.
I think it will print the second statement. Dash.
Okay, dash, 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 dash. That's good. We are learning. We are trying as much as possible to get the whole concept of it. So don't worry, we'll get it one after the other. So let's see what will happen. Let's run this code and see. So 7 is greater than 0 and less than or equals to 10. And it also print the dash, dash, dash. So the answer could have been both will be coming out as print. Why is this last one coming out as dash, dash, dash? Because it is not even looking at any condition. It must come out. Like this print is outside the block of code here. It's just coming out like on its own. It will definitely come out on its own. Like it doesn't have any condition, but it will definitely print out. But why is this 7 is greater than 0 and less than or equals to 10? It's coming out because both of these conditions are met. Both of these conditions are met. If you look at this very well, if x is greater than 0, yes, x is greater than 0, which is 7. And x, now this particular statement has all. This particular statement has all inside of it, but it doesn't come to affect the and here. So this particular one of them is true. That's why one of them will definitely come out as true. And also this is true, and the final answer here will be true. Even though we have true or false here, it will come out as true because there is an or here, because this particular sign means less than or equals to 10. So by the time it does that, it comes out as true, and also this one comes out as true, and is in the range of 0 and what? 10. It means that 7 is in a range of 0 and 10. So anything inside the range of 0 and 10, anything inside that is greater than 0, like going from 1 to 10, will definitely run this particular print statement. So that is the final verdict for this particular answer. So I don't know if anyone understands the whole concept. Let me know. If you do not understand, let me know as well. I know it's looking like mathematics all the time, but definitely these are the things you see in the interview hall. If there's someone is trying to like get you to get a particular Python developer job. So these are the little things that you see, building it step by step. So I don't know if anyone does not understand the concept. Please let us know. It's very, very important that you get the whole concept. Please, if you don't understand now, let me raise up your hand. We can go back and let it understood enough for everyone. Okay. Those one that's okay. I think we are good to go. Any issues?
No issues. We are good to go.
Okay, good. Nice one. So any other Miss Nena, are you here? Are you with us?
Yes, I'm with
Do you understand what is going on here?
Yes.
That yes is not yes enough. Please let us know what's up. What is the part that you're wrong? You're getting it. You're not getting the whole concept. Please, it's very important.
I'm trying to understand the two prints. As in, I'm thinking something. What if there are like, let's say that I want to compute results, for example, if there are more than two conditions, I'm just thinking of how to place the whole thing. But as we move on, I think we'll get there.
Okay, you want to like maybe more than either an or or this kind of stuff. Don't worry, we're still getting there. It's going to get clarified step by step, one after the other. It's going to be fine. So let's just try to use something else. Maybe apart from 10, let's try to, I think we understand the whole concept of the range from 1 to 12, from 0 to 10. So let's just go straight to the concept of, the whole concept of, let's use this particular one to be greater than or equals to, and this other one to be less than only. Let's just see how it's going to go for us. So let's still copy this same code. Let's just copy and let's create another code. Let's just paste it here and let's change some things. Let's change this to a range. Let's say equals greater than or equals to greater than or equals to 0, and let this one just be less than, and let's change it to change it to 20. Please, by this time you will be the ones to answer these questions. Let's see. Change this to 20. I'll be changing things right now. So let's see. Guys, what do you think will be the answer for this? Which one will print? Is it both of them or just one? Let me know your answer at this particular point. So this is x is equals to 7. If x is greater than or equals to 0 and x is less than 20, what do you think will be printed here? Is it this
Sorry,
and that?
I can't see. Can you scroll down? I can't see your screen.
Okay, sir. Can you see my screen now?
I can.
Okay, good. So what do you think will be the answer here? What do you think will come out? Is it this both of them? Definitely the last print will definitely come out because it is not part of this condition. It is outside the block of code. This is the scope here. It is outside the block of code here. So what do you think will come out here? Is it both? If you are going to say both, you can just say both. You can just say the last print. Just let me know in the comment section. Let's see. Some persons are dropping. Okay, someone is saying both of them, both, since both conditions are met. Okay, I like that you're saying both and you're also putting your reasons for that. Both, someone is saying both. Okay, both. Wow, that's good. Let's see. Let's see what it. Well, let's see what will happen. Let's see what will happen. Let's see what will happen. Let's see. Okay, so let's check it out. Okay, so let's see how it's going to be like. Let's see. So let's check it out. Let's print it out. So both is actually coming out. 7 is greater than 0 and less than. 7 is greater than 0. We're supposed to make these changes as well. But nevertheless, you understand it's less than, and okay, let me just use less than. It's supposed to have been less than. Less than. This one is greater than, greater than, greater than or equal to 0. So let's run this again. So 7 is greater than or equal to 0 and less than 20. Yes, both conditions are being met. So let's change this now. We can decide to let's change it to, let's say, 49. If we change it to 49, what will be the outcome, guys? What will be the outcome if we change it to 49? What will be the outcome? Both conditions are met. Well done, Mr. Funso. Okay, now we have changed it to 49. What do you think it will be the answer? Please, I would like to see your answer in the comment section.
Is it greater than or equal to 0?
What do you think will be your answer? Only the second print. Mr. Ko said only the second print will be published. Okay, someone is typing. Only the second print will be published. Someone is still typing. Please type, put in your answer. Mr. For only the second print. Good. Let's see. Let's confirm. Okay. Only one condition is met. So only second print will be prested. That is one. I think I always appreciate what Mr. Okwemi does. It tells you straight to the point why it is doing this. It does. Nice one. Well done. Thank you very much for trying. So let's see if you can actually see all these things around, and then Python look for your trouble. So let's confirm if what you're saying is true. So we print it out and see. It's only the last option that is printed, because definitely it's not true. 49 is definitely not less than 20. So it definitely, it's only this condition is false, so all of them will not print. So that's good. That's fantastic already. That's fantastic. So let's use -6. Let's use -6. What do you think will happen? -6. If you use -6, what do you think will happen? Okay, someone has already answered. Okay. If you use -6 now, what would you think will happen? Please know that this is a foundational knowledge for you to get complex. If you think that this one is looking simple enough, it will help you when you, because I think we saw a practical example when we were building our total project. It helps, the whole process. We started little by little and we get it there. Okay, same as above. Okay, only second. Good guys, I love the way you are responding. That's nice. So we can see it's going to be same as above. So good. We have gotten enough of the AND operation, the logical operation. Now let's go to OR and see how we can make it work for us for the OR operation. So let's see how the OR operation will work for us. So let's see how it's going to be like. So the first one we'll start with. Let's start with OR. We have been using and. So let's define a variable and let's say x is equals to, let's use 90, and we define a variable. That's definitely a variable. And by the time we define a variable, say if what x is greater than 100, or what, or x is less than what, 0. Okay, definitely you put in with a colon. By the time you do that, it gives you an indentation. So let's just print. We're going to see if it's going to print. We use the string format method. We use a curly bracket to represent the variable. I want to use is greater than 100, is greater than 100, or less than 0, or less than 0. We are not true. We use the dot format. Sorry, I'm trying to, let me clear this in my screen. Okay, we use the dot format and we're going to reference the variable, which is x. So we can put x here and we are good to go. Definitely, let's bring back that print option again. So let's print. Let's use that dash as well. So let's use dash. Okay, so now at this particular point, guys, what do you think will be the answer for this? If x is greater than 100 or x is less than 0, what do you think will be the outcome? Please, let's see it in the chat room. Let's see it in the chat box. Let's see, we are now going straight to OR. Let's see, and please, I need everyone to put in their answers. It's very important. Please put in your answers.
Let's see the code.
Okay, this is the code. So x is equals to 90. If x is greater than 100 or x is less than 0, print is greater than 100 or less than 0. Dot format x, you now say, okay. So I'm going to the option, the guys, no conditions are met. So Python returns and pastes the second print. Okay, let's see the second print. Mr. Opeyemi is at it again. Okay, it's okay. All right, so this is super amazing. I appreciate the fact that you guys are putting in the efforts. I know some persons are like, why is math? What is math doing here? Guys, let me break it up to you. If you are getting into data analysis, I am very sure that even though you may not really see much of linear algebra. Yes, you will not see linear algebra, but I'm very sure you are going to see probability, statistics. So all these things are very, very important for you. Someone like me that is a data scientist, I deal with linear algebra. Thank God when I was going to school then, at this particular stage in our university, we're taught linear algebra. Though I thought it was joke at the point, but it really helped me. Though even though you don't have any idea of linear algebra, it doesn't really have to be a problem. I did calculus, I did linear algebra, so it helped me in my data science journey as well. Though you could actually learn it yourself, and you don't really need more complex. You don't really need it to be that complex for you to understand. We now see that there are lots of resources online that we can actually get to that particular stage. Only the second print, only the second print. So it's good. Let's see if it's going to be only the second print. Okay, only the second print. Definitely is true because definitely both conditions are false, so it's not going to run. So x is greater than 100, which is not true. X is 90, or with this particular one is false, or x is less than 0. X is less than 0, which is not true. This is not definitely a minus sign, a minus number. So exactly what we are looking for. It's wonderful with what you guys are doing. So what if we decide to change this to, let's change it to 280 or let's use 260. Okay, what do you think it will give us, guys? What do you think this will give us? It's a very practical example. What do you think it will give us? If we change it to 260, what do you think the answer will be? Okay, someone is saying both. Someone is saying both. Mr. Fonabon is saying both. Mr. Fonabon is saying both. Okay. Okay, some persons are saying Mr. Fonabon said both. Okay, please, let's see what it will give us. If it's x is equals to 260, what do you think will be the final answer? Okay, let me go to the chat room and see what we have. Okay, both prints will appear since one of the condition is true. Fantastic, because we are using the OR operation, because either one condition is true, that means the both of them will be true. Fantastic, nice one so far, nice one. Please, I would like to get information, the answers from Nena. I need answers from Nena. Please, I need answers from Nena. I need answers from Mr. Emmanuel Amodu. I need answers from, yes, I need answers from.
I don't know why the chat is not working. I've been sending answers, but it's not.
Okay. Just tell us, what do you think this answer will be like? What do you think it will be, this particular one?
I think the first print will work only.
The first print will work on it, and also the last one will definitely come up because it is part of it. Okay. But at least so far you understand the whole concept, right? That's the main thing.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, Emedion, how far? I've not heard from you tonight. How far? I've not seen anything from the chat room with you. Emedion, are you there? What is the answer? You can put it in the chat room. Okay, Mr. Moses is no longer part of us right now. He has left the chat. I wanted to call his name. Maybe he knew I'll call his name. I don't know. Emedion, are you with us? Please, what will be your answer? Emedion is not here with us. Maybe she's physically here, but she's not here. Okay. All right, guys. So let's see what it will give us. So definitely 260 is greater than 100 or less than 0. Exactly, it is true. But one condition is met, so definitely it will come out and print this particular option. So at this particular stage, I think we are set to understand the if statement. It's a very simple concept now, but when we get to add it with other codes, it might get complicated. So it's better you understand the whole concept now and get it and grasp it little by little. Please, also for those that are not doing the assignments, that project is very, very important. And make sure when you are doing those projects, try to save it somewhere else, because at the end of this course, there are a lot of things you'll be sending to your GitHub. GitHub is like a platform for programmers that you showcase your work and they see. Okay, Emidian says she's here. Sorry about that. So what is going to happen? Keep your projects with you. Those are real world projects. Those are real world projects. Keep it with you. There will be times they're going to upload it to your GitHub. All of you will have a GitHub account. You upload it, and people, whenever you want to show your portfolio, You can actually show people this is what you have done so far, and it will help you a lot. They'll see that you have done a whole lot of practical hands-on project, and it will really, really help you a lot. So try as much as possible to save your work and do your project. You learn by doing. Coding is by doing. You code and you fail. You code and you make mistakes. You see the errors, you rectify it, and you debug. Nobody is even more than having issues, no matter how good you are in programming. As far as programming, a little comma or a little space can cause error. There is nobody that is perfect enough in coding. Because a little thing that you do, even though you might not really do it by yourself, all of a sudden, maybe you don't know as you're moving your hands, you just mistakenly press or the space bar. And you know all these keyboards, they are very, very sharp. It doesn't really look at if you know what you're actually doing. Just give a space and all your codes will just cause an error. You look at the error, like you look at the line, so what is going on? And so just try as much as possible to do. Don't just assume that you know it. Just try to fix it up, make mistakes, and you get to understand a whole lot of things. So let's just do one more thing. If you change this to minus 260, let's see what will be your answer. Let's just do it, and I think that will be end. In the next class, please put in your answer in the comment section. If you change it to minus 260, what do you think will be your answer? If you change it to minus 260, what do you think will be your answer? Okay, and the next class we'll look at the else statement. We'll look at the else. That means if it's this, okay, someone is saying both. And then I want to say something since you cannot chat. Is there anything you want to say?
Yes, I'm a little bit confused. Please, can you explain this? Since, like this one that you asked now, the first will print. Since the first one has already printed, why will the second one still print?
The second one is printing because it is not part of this party. All these things people are doing, it doesn't. Okay, let's just say is inside maybe anything that people are doing in that house. Maybe this is a particular condition in a house. People are laying rules and regulations in the house. He's not interested in the rules and regulations. The only option he has in that house is just to eat. Maybe just to eat in that house. So anything people are doing in that house, he's not interested. The only thing he wants to do is just to eat. So in this particular one, the only thing this print function is just to print because he is not even part of the arguments people are having here. So it is a must that it must come out because it is not part of the argument, it's not part of the block of code. So that print, his duty is to print. It's not going to stop it doesn't affect anything. It's just going to print because it is not part of this code. But if I bring it here, if I change this code where it is now and I press tab, if I press tab now, if this particular condition is not met, it's not going to print because it has this tab alone has made it to be part of this particular argument. So let's see something that was, which of the condition did we do that was both of them came out and it was not true. So let's use this thing to be 80. Let's use 80. Let's use 80 here, and let's see what will happen. So if we run this, let's run this and see. You can see the print no longer, the last print is not coming out because now officially that brought him into the argument, which it means how did they bring him to the argument? Because they changed his particular position. He was originally here. It was not part of the scope. It was not part of the argument. So immediately he joined this by using a tab. He sees on the same line with the other print. So automatically he enters the condition. By the time he enters the condition, he's not going to print because if it's not true, he's not going to print. So if you run this again, let's see, nothing shows. You can see nothing, no output here. But if you take it back and take it out of this particular condition and you run it again, it's going to show because it is not part of that argument again to be true. I don't know if you understand.
Yes, I understand. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
So
So let's
just
go to. Hello, who's saying something? Okay, all right. So let's see if the last thing we just did is true. So let's change it to minus 260 and see those that got it 260. So someone said both will print. Let's see if it's both. So definitely both will print because one of the conditions have been met. definitely x is less than 0. Definitely x is, look at minus 260 is less than 0. So one of the condition is true. So that means it will definitely print this particular thing. So at this particular point, I would like to say, well done. Thank you for joining us tonight. And I like the fact that you are still keeping up the fight. A lot of persons, I must tell you, have dropped out of this program. And I'm very sure in the next phase, by the time you submit your project, there are a lot of you that will still not join us in the next class. Though it might feel like as if I'm not, it may feel that I'm not doing any good, but I'm trying to help you because the journey in the programming world is competitive, especially when it comes to Python, that is, the syntax is friendly enough. So we have a lot of people that are actually here that are going to beat you out of the market. So you have to be very, very good. That's why it's good to always have your project hands-on and understand every concept of what you are doing. Is very, very important. This is the foundation, and some of you have to dedicate time. It's, I know you have engaged in other things. Even myself, I try as much as possible to also help myself as well. Though I am doing things, I'm building models on my own. It takes time from me. Some days I may not really have enough time for you guys, but I still have time to, like, let me just have this class with you guys and help you out, because I know how it all started. If someone is not there to guide you, you might feel overwhelmed and lost out of the way. So just try as much as possible to put in the work, even though it's 10 minutes every day. Look at it, code a little. It will help you in the long run. The main thing for you to do is to stay consistent, no matter how it is. Even though it's a line of code you are building in a day, stay consistent. If you leave a code for 2 days, it will look like something else. So try and learn and learn and unlearn as well. So thank you very much, guys. At this particular point, we stop recording and